Hey there, welcome back to another video. This is Liam, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to design any room. And specifically, we're going to be talking about 3 questions that you can use to guide your own thinking about the space that you want to improve. So, the first question that you should ask yourself is, what style do you like? You really need to have an idea of what is the kind of feeling and the kind of style that you like, so that when you go into choosing furniture, choosing if you're painting a wall, decor, all of those things, you have inspiration from a specific style. Because if you're coming from nowhere with no specific style in mind, it's very easy for things to get mixed up and hodgepodge, in terms of the design, right? You have some elements of this thing, you have this other thing that looks, boho, and you have one thing that looks very minimalist and modern, right? And farmhouse, and you have all these different styles that are mixing because you haven't thought about which one you really wanted to go for, okay? I'm not trying to put you in a box here, but I do want you to think about the specific thing that you like. So I mentioned some names there, right? You've probably heard of all of these, but you have things like modern, right? Which is very, very common these days. It's all over the place. It's in offices, it's in homes, right? And that's a specific style. You have bohemian, which is kind of different to modern, right? You have Scandinavian, which is kind of a blend between the two, right? Of bohemian and modern. And then you have other ones like farmhouse or eclectic. And then there's also a style that's generally more traditional that you might go for. Now there's many more out there, but some of these images that I just showed should give you some inspiration. So if you need to go back and look at some of those images again, consider doing that and pick out the ones that you like, right? Which ones speak more to you? All right, question number 2. What is the room mainly going to be used for? Or another way of saying that might be, what are the priorities of the room? And what that means is, if it's a living room, is the priority of the room, right? Is the focus of the room the television? Is that what you want to be the focus? That's great, right? If you want to watch movies, watch shows, hang out with family and watch TV, that's great. Maybe you're not a big TV person. Maybe you want the focus of the room to be reading, right? Maybe you want to focus it more on it being a social space where a lot of people can hang out and talk, right? Maybe you want the space to be more of a creative space. Maybe you're a gamer and the focus of your space is around gaming. Maybe you like to collect things. And so the focus of your space is really around those unique items that you have. Those are the focuses. And you can have combinations of these things. But it's really important to think about that because you can't decide where to move furniture, where to put things, how to arrange things, if you don't know what the focus of your room is. And a lot of times I'll see images from people who want advice on their homes, and they'll have a space that they want to improve, but it looks like what they have currently doesn't have any kind of focus around what they want to do in that space. There may be chairs off to the side, the couch is not centered in front of anything or next to anything. There's no real focus, right? So that's the second question. What are the priorities of the room? Answer that before you start redoing your whole space, buying furniture, and getting really involved in the project of improving that space. All right, and the last question number 3 is, what unique features of your room or your space could guide you on beginning to decorating that space? So what do I mean by this? If you have a large window, like a really large window that kind of stands out when you go into that room, that would be a unique feature, right? Not everybody has beautiful big windows in their homes. If you have archways inside your home, right? Or you have windows that have an arch, that would be something that's unique, okay? And so you need to look for these things. Maybe it's hardwood floors that are really, really nice. Maybe it's hardwood floors that are not so nice, right? But hopefully you have some floors that are nice. If you don't have hardwood floors, it might be something else. Maybe it's a view that you have outside of the window, and you really want that view to be something that people can enjoy. Another example is if your room is in a unique shape and you have a little corner or a nook that you could really make use of, right? So you need to be thinking about when you walk into that space, what are kind of some key spots or some key features of this room or this space that you can really play off of? And here's how you begin to think about playing off of it. An easy example is something like arches or arched windows. Oftentimes, if we have arched windows, you can actually play off of those arches in your room by including more curved edge things in the room. You might even include, like one of those lamps that hangs out right over on a big metal rod that's curved. You might consider a seat that has kind of a rounded, curved cushion. You might consider a rug that has more of a rounded or organic shape. So what you're doing is you're taking an element of the structure of the room and you're building it into your design and your decor. Okay, if you have hardwood floors, right, what's the color of them? If they're a really light color, a soft, natural light color, you might do well with a style that's Bohemian or Scandinavian even. And you might include more things that have wood of different textures that are a light color like that. Another example of this is if you have one of those unique windows that I mentioned, either a really large window or a really beautiful window in a certain shape, or really any kind of window. It's a really good spot to put tables and desks, at least to put them nearby, if not in front of that window, because you get so much, beautiful natural light coming onto those surfaces that you use, okay? No point putting that desk crammed away in a corner where there's low light when you could have put it nearby a window. So that's question number 3. What are the unique features of your space that you can start to play off of to come up with cool design for your room? All right, so to recap, instead of asking, how do I make my place nicer? Ask these 3 questions. Number 1, what style do I like? Number 2, what is the room primarily going to be used for? What is the focus of the room? And number 3, what unique features of the room or the space can I play off of to help me start decorating and designing that space? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.